I'm Alessia Smileandfood. I am from Sicily, and he is.
I'm Manuel Martinez from Colombia.
Oh, this morning we want to enjoy together making a recipe with the same ingredients, but with two different processes to make. I will make Sicilian Caponata, and you?
I will make a Colombian Caribbean Boronìa, which has a Spanish origin and Arab, which is similar to
My Caponata. Yes, so we can start to enjoy. What's the ingredients of your recipe?
Yeah, basically it's eggplant and something sweet, which in our case is plantain, banana plantain, with a little bit of vinegar. So that agrodolce, that flavor, that Arabic influence is the same that you have. That's what we have found together when we're exchanging.
Yeah, my ingredients will be eggplant, peppers, but I will use sweet and sour with vinegar and sugar, because you will use the platen, the banana, and not the sugar. Yes, so we can start to make our recipes. I will start to cut all my ingredients, and you too.
So do I, yes, and we have another difference in our process because my recipe, our common recipe, is mostly boiled, but yours is
I am from Sicily, I fry everything! Oh yeah! So come on, we start! Okay, let's go!
Okay, first start cutting the eggplant into big pieces. It does not need to be free size because at the end we're gonna make a puree. So this would be enough for what we need today. I cut it in just fairly big size cubes and boil it.
Just the water is boiling, so...
Just a little water, so yeah, help.
Then we can put directly to cook.
Yeah,
okay.
Everything together. And as I said, at the end we're gonna make a puree, so we do not have to be neat, but cutting it into small pieces helps us cook a lot faster and save time.
But now we will cook it together,
Si,
plátano
yes.
and eggplant.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll cook it all
Very
together,
interesting.
and we're gonna cut it. This, insert your finger between and start peeling. Again, we cut it in fairly small size pieces, and now we do the other one. And we put it in the boiling water and wait until it's all. And now we cut the onion. In this case, it's the red onion. We're just gonna use about half. Don't need that much. And cut it into small pieces. We're gonna make a little similar to what's called salsa. And continue now cutting the tomato.
Because now, what are you doing?
I'm gonna cut this into small pieces and make a little stir fry, or a sofrito that we call it in Colombia, which is the start of almost all our recipes. Onion, garlic, tomatoes, peppers, most of them, and the spices we use cumin, or sometimes we use shiote, other things that are always present in our...
Understanding, okay.
Put it all together. now we take the boiled eggplant and the plantain. Take the excess water, and we're ready to make the puree. And we're ready to start making the puree. And I leave it. I like it to be a little bit chunky and not so smooth. Start mixing. Just a few seconds. Now we're ready to check. I'm gonna add a little more salt, just a tiny bit of salt, a little more pepper, and even a little more cumin as well. Just added a little more of the flavor. And we're ready. Boronìa. Okay, so we're finished. The recipe is complete, and Alessia, ready to try it.
Oh my gosh, I am very, very excited. And good taste to everybody. Very good.
Grazie.
Now I need to make mine.
Make yours and see how
Yeah, but I
eggplant
needed to
with
finish this bread before.
Well, I cannot wait to see yours now. So you make the same different steps with the same ingredients.
I will remake. And after this great and very, very delicious taste of Boronìa made from my best friend Manuel from Colombia, we start making our Sicilian caponata. The ingredients are the same, so we will need to cut in cubes all ingredients: eggplants, peppers, celery, carrots, and onion, and then we will fry everything. So we start. We don't need to cut very little pieces like for the Boronìa. Like Manuel just made. And Manuel, I would like explain to you that Sicilian caponata is made in a sweet and sour version, so using vinegar and sugar, because for example my grandmother preserved it in the jars. So we make this recipe only during the summer, when the ingredients are in season, and then we preserve in the jars for the winter. Like I have here a little example. I made this caponata last summer in a jar, and then we can use every time in a special way for Christmas time with the meat or like appetizer. We can use the bruschetta like for your recipe before.
That's wonderful. I have a question about the name.
Yeah.
What does the name come? Does come I read something about the fish, capone, or why the name?
The name maybe has this origin because this was a recipe that people used to eat in the same season of capone fish, because the capone fish is in the month of September. So during September, just we had all jars of caponata ready. So people mixed these two ingredients to eat together. But then the recipe is with an origin from Arabic recipe like yours, because it's in a sweet and sour to preserve this recipe for the winter.
Beautiful. I just want to note that you in the celery also include the leaves.
The leaves,
because it's not usual to always discard the leaves, but in this recipe I noticed that you are keeping the leaves.
This is a little secret that you are keeping from me, because the taste of the celery stay in the leaves. So if you take off the leaves, you will have not the taste in your caponata. So sometimes I suggest to my friends, when they find the celery fresh with the leaves, you can preserve them also in the freezer. So when you need a very strong flavor of the celery in your recipe, you can use the leaves.
Oh, that's wonderful. I never have thought of that, and we always throw it away.
He is a true chef because he understood the secret of this recipe. So now I'm using the green olives from my garden. I made yes myself with the olives of my garden last year, and then I made before in brine, and then I take off the bones, and I made under oil. Now I'm going to fry each singular ingredient in a separate way, because each ingredient has a different time to cook, so this is very important. Now the color, you just can see the color are amazing, like in your recipe. I need only to cut the onions. We are inside my new location of the cooking school in Syracuse. So this is a wonderful place where we can have cooking classes together next time, when you will come back in Sicily.
Yes, I will come during the summer, at the end of the summer, and we have a lot of ideas, a lot of plans to share with everyone of our exchange in our culture. So many things that we have in common. Alessia,
Yeah.
how do you know, or when do you know that it's ready for the eggplant?
Manuel, in this moment here we are in the winter, so the eggplants aren't perfect to make the best caponata. But when you fry, the taste is the best in every way, and we need that the eggplants are gold like now, because then we need to cook again when we will mix all the ingredients together. So when they will be gold, they will be just perfect for our recipe.
One thing that I noticed in your cooking, you have the setting for the highest temperature, which I think is good, because that way the eggplant does not soak all the oil out.
But
so it is very dry.
But I would like to give to our friends another secret. When you fry in a good way, when you need to fry in good way our eggplants or our vegetables, you need to fry in deep fry. So, for example, the eggplants will be very crunchy outside and not spongy of oil, because if you will cook in deep fry, they will be perfect. If you will cook in just a little bit of oil, they will be terrible. So I suggest to you to understand, if you would like to fry, you must fry in in a lot oil. If you don't want fry, you can grill or bake. Now I'm cooking the peppers, and then I will go with all the ingredients in separate way. Our peppers are just ready, so we take off from the oil. We don't need to dry these vegetables because then we need to mix all ingredients together to make the caponata. So then we don't need to add more oil to finish to cook. So now I fry the onions. The smell of the Manuel Caponata was delicious, but now also mine is giving to you.
And I can smell all the different flavors of the onion and the peppers.
But the taste of the cumin in your recipe was
Just a little bit.
I love it because my grandma was from Libya. So I grew up with the taste of the cumin. She usually made for me fish, boiled fish with a strong flavor of garlic, lemon and cumin. And the name of this recipe was very, very strange because it was harami. And I love it, and a lot of time I made for my kids too.
What's the name again?
Harami.
Well, the onion does not.
But I don't know if it's the really name because I was very I was a child, so I remember this name, but I needed to find again during my travel. Maybe this recipe from Libya or next time. Okay, now I will fry carrots too. You need to be careful when you will fry the celery because if the leaves will be just a little bit humid, they can explode. Yeah. So we need to be careful. If you don't want to fry everything, you can make the caponata baked. So you must cut the vegetables in different sizes. So the eggplants in big cube, the peppers just a little bit more little. And the celery and the carrot little, so everything can cook inside the oven in the same time. Usually when I bake this recipe, I cook for 1 hour in the oven with 200 degrees, and then you need to follow the same process of the fried caponata.
Outside and avoid all the splashing.
I can check, yeah. These bubbles are because the temperature of the oil goes down. So we need to cook just a little portion of the ingredients for time, so the temperature can go on in fast way. Manuel, now our vegetables are just ready to make the sweet and sour taste. So I'm adding white sugar, but if you don't like the white sugar, you can add honey or brown sugar, because we need to create this contrast between the sweet of the vegetables and the sour from the vinegar. This is a good way to preserve the shade of each ingredient inside the jars for a long time. So then when you will have the jars, you can understand what you are eating. So now I have the vinegar and I wait just a few minutes that whole taste of the vinegar will go away. This is a recipe different of yours because this is a recipe that will be the best cold and not hot or warm, because when it is too warm you will have a very strong flavor of the vinegar and you cannot taste the other ingredients. So you must come back tomorrow, maybe in my kitchen, to taste.
I will sacrifice and come back.
Because we need to taste it cold, but it will be amazing. When you would like to preserve in the jar like this one, you need that the caponata will be very hot, so you need to boil it, the jars before. Then when they are sterilized, you need to put the very hot caponata inside. You cover with the cup and you turn over. So then in this way just is perfect to create a vacuum inside, and you can preserve for the winter. Okay, now the caponata is ready. We need only to add the salt. I didn't add the salt before because if you put the salt on the top when you start to cook, all ingredients will leave the water and then they will be spongy and they like your puree. When are in season, you can add a few leaves of fresh mint or of fresh basil. The flavor is very strong of vinegar, but the colors are wonderful. And my caponata is made.
Look at the wonderful texture of that sauce that's made with the sugar and the vinegar.
What do you think? We can make another bruschetta with this caponata,
yes.
But not now because it's too hot. So we will wait that my caponata will be cold too. So our job for this morning is done. Good job, Mr. Manuel.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, friends, to follow us. See you on next recipe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.